Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about two fragrances from Joe Milano. They're supposed to be dupes of other scents. Game of Spades Royale, Game of Spades Wildcard by Joe Milano. I'm doing these two at a time to just get them over with. Honestly, I've debated doing these Joe Milano scents mainly because they're so expensive. What do you guys think about dupes being expensive? Like, at what point does it become a practice in futility when something is so expensive that it kind of rivals the original scent? Is it even worth it at that point? I'm never gonna buy a full bottle of Royale or a full bottle of Wildcard. They're like 200, 300 bucks. Like, at that point, I would just get the original, right? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, their strategy doesn't make sense to me. When I get dupes, it's because I want to spend less money on something that's equal quality versus spending a buttload of money over something that imitates something else. Like, that makes no sense to me. Let's sniff them first. So this is Royale. I really like Royale in terms of its scent profile. It's a very sweet scent. I'm a huge fan of gourmands, and this has like a bunch of sweetness in it. It has hazelnut and it has cocoa or cacao, whatever, but it has a lot of sweetness in it and a lot of chocolatiness in it that I can perceive. So it's basically Nutella in a bottle, and it smells pretty good. It's a sweetness that is not superly overly sweet, and it's supported by some flowers to give it a little bit of dimension, a little bit of depth. At first sniff, it just gives me that chocolatey cacao and hazelnut goodness with some flowers. Now let's do Wildcard very quickly. Every time I do a review, a lot of you ask me about how things compare to other scents, and especially scents that you have. I decided to do a giveaway. How's that gonna work? I created a form that's gonna be in my YouTube description. All you have to do is complete the form, which is writing your name, writing what fragrance you're interested in, and how you want me to contact you. 1 week after I posted that video, I will contact 3 individuals from that form and get their shipping information to send them a 2 milliliter decant of the fragrance I was talking about. If you're not sure that the notes I'm mentioning and the vibe that I'm describing works for you, you can test it out for yourself now. You don't have to blind buy the scent. And then be ready to get your decant in the mail. So Wildcard's notes are bergamot, flowers, coriander. Those are the top notes. The middle notes are apple, ambroxan, vanilla, and the base notes are tonka bean, ambergris, and woody notes. Yeah, and right now it's just giving me a lot of bergamot and a lot of woody notes. It smells good, don't get me wrong, it smells really good. And when I wore this, it smelled like this the entire day. This doesn't really have a lot of a scent story. It just kind of smells pretty linear throughout the day. It is good, but I don't think it does anything absurdly special. Game of Spades Royale's notes are hazelnut and cacao as a top note. The middle notes are jasmine, sambac, and cedar. And then the base notes are caramel, ambroxan, and moss. But honestly, what I get most is hazelnut and cacao and jasmine. And then as it develops, the caramel kind of comes out more and it gets sweeter. But overall, those are the notes you get. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a Bianco latte kind of thing or a caramel cascade kind of thing. It's very caramelly with like some chocolate there to separate it a little bit. So it would be like Eilish and Bianco latte together. So it's good. I really like this one. It's a very nice scent. The Royale is a very nice scent, and it also doesn't grow that much. I think that has been my kind of complaint with Joe Milano scents as I've worn them, that they're very linear. They don't change a lot. They just flatten out. I'm not sure I like that very much. I like scents that kind of grow and develop and change. I think that's my main complaint with Joe Milano scents. They're kind of flat, they're kind of linear, and they don't really grow or develop through time. So when you spray it after the first 5 minutes, that's basically the scent you get throughout your entire day. And I kind of like scents that develop and grow and change throughout the experience. I kind of prefer that. So I don't know, that's my take on these. In terms of longevity and projection, they're both pretty decent projectors. They project about 4 feet, 5 feet. So I would call that a decent projection, not a great projection, not a fantastic projection, it's just decent, it's okay. And they both become like skin scents by hour, maybe 4 or 5. They're not beast mode, they're nowhere near beast mode, they're kitten mode. They're like very smart. They're very chill projectors, and they don't last that long. By hour maybe 8 or 9, they are barely perceptible. You have to hunt them down to like smell them. So you have to like smell your wrists or your whatever, your clothes, to be able to get that scent. No one else will perceive it after maybe hour 6 or 7. So that's kind of like the vibe with these. They're decent scents, very linear, decent projection, and not decent longevity, not fantastic. So I would call them kind of mid with a very expensive price tag. If you're expecting massive amounts of projection, longevity, and performance, and you're expecting like fabulous scents that get very complicated with time and deliciousness for the price, you're kind of going to be disappointed by these. I think Royale is a good scent for gourmand lovers. It's very sweet, it's very caramelly, it's very chocolatey, Nutella-y. So it's like you turn into a caramel and Nutella like snack, like a candy bar. It's really, really good for that. It kind of reminds me of a confectionery. It's very sweet, it's very youthful, it's very playful. So those are the kind of notes that strive in this. If you're into that kind of scent profile, it's great. There's not a lot of warmth in here, at least not a lot of warmth that I can perceive. So it doesn't skew wintry scent, it just skews like youthful sweetness. So take it with that as you will. Maybe it's a dating scent, maybe this is something to like get attention. As I wore this, I didn't get a lot of compliments. I didn't get anything from this actually. I didn't get any compliments, I didn't get any comments, no one's really said anything. Yeah, it wasn't a lot of this. Royale was unfortunately like, it went completely under the radar for people. It really went completely under the radar for me unless I hunted for it. So it was just kind of like there, it just existed. Even though I like the scent profile, I probably wouldn't get it again because it just existed and didn't really impact me in any way. Wildcard, again, the scent still is a very zesty, fresh scent with some woodiness there. It is very nice. It's a freshie. Guys would like this. And I did get a compliment from one person while wearing this. So it did project decently well and people did like this. I don't think it's something that I would personally reach for a lot because I have a lot of scents that do this. And again, this is so expensive for the performance, the scent, that so many of these might do the same thing. This reminds me, what does this remind me of? I think this is a similar profile to like other things that I have. I think this also, like Club de Nuit probably does something similar to this that I could easily replace. So I don't think this is something that I would gravitate towards. What do I give them? So I'm moving on to like the end of the review because I don't think there's a lot to say when these don't perform that well. And this is not something like I'm completely vibing with. So Wildcard to me for a scent, I would give it maybe a 9. Citrus, woody, sure, it's great. Not something I would reach for. For longevity and projection, I think I would give it maybe a 6 or 7, maybe 6.5. So 6.5 for longevity, 6.5 in projection. That would be maybe a total of 8. Unfortunately, this is not a great scent overall. And for Royale, to me, the scent is a 10. Everything else is maybe a 6.5. So maybe an 8.5 or 9. Not 8.5 in total. So these two are they're just not something I would rebuy. The moment I spend these decants, I'm just not going to use these again. They're just going to be gone. It was a nice experiment, but I don't think I'm going to use these again. I have 7 more to review, so I'll probably do them in sets of 3 instead of 2. Have you tried Royale and Wildcard? What did you think? Do you think it's worth the price? Remember, the sense is subjective. What I prefer isn't necessarily what you prefer, and what I perceive isn't necessarily what you'll perceive. Remember to comment, like, subscribe, and always remember to smell your best. See ya.